What's up, traders? It's your girl Kaya Trades, and today is day 2 of 10 days of no trading. Just because you can find a setup on the charts does not mean you should be taking a trade. And after the month I've had, guys, I know now that I need to stop asking myself, where can I find a trade? And start asking myself, does this market even deserve my money? So today I'm going to take you guys through 3 things I look for and need to see before I consider taking a trade. Let's go ahead and hop to the chart. All right, so we are on the charts and we are about to look at the beautiful trade setup that I saw today and go through those 3 things that I need to see if I want to take a trade. But before we do that, I want to show you guys something I did in my journal this morning that I felt brought me a lot of peace coming to the markets. So first things first, I wrote down my preparation and pregame plan. I hopped on the charts around 9 a.m. today. Usually I start my live community around 9:15. If you want to trade with me, click that link in the description, and also subscribe and comment, guys, if you see something that you like, or if you don't like, I'm here for it. But let's go through this game plan really quick. The only thing I was watching today is M&Q. That's my bread and butter, so I'm just going to focus on that. There was no red folder news, so I put that there was none applicable. I didn't do a weekly bias, but I did a daily bias, and the daily candle was bearish. We'll get into that as we get on the charts. And then I was also looking for price at this level. We had a 1 hour and a 4 hour demand kind of together. So I was kind of keeping an eye on both of those levels. But then I had 3 things that I was kind of looking for as far as a game plan goes coming to the market. I was either going to wait for market to open and tap a current supply zone that was already there and then push down a little bit further to take me along for the ride, or I was going to wait for price to create a break of structure that was nice and strong, creating a new supply zone, but also holding, again, pushing the market a little bit down. And the last idea I had was to wait to see how price reacts from those 1 hour and 4 hour levels, because even though I do have a bias, I want to be able to keep an open mind that the market is changing and could change. So I just wanted to keep that in my back pocket. And I also noticed that price was moving full speed, one bearish candle into that demand zone. Normally, I like to see price break down a bit before coming to my zone, and that's just not what it was giving. In my back testing, I've noticed that aggressive movements to a zone kind of don't really hold as often as price breaking down and coming to a zone. To start off, we'll get to just these 2 right here. I wrote that the sellers were strong in the 4 hour, just like right here. And then I wrote some of my feelings down, which was pre-market. I felt super calm and prepared after going through this, knowing what levels that I want to interact with or see price move at. And then felt ready to continue for sells, but react for buys. So that's kind of how I was feeling. Let's go ahead and head to the charts and break down the actual day. So you guys know I have my KT system in the front corner as always. If I don't have it up there, it's out of sight, out of mind. I also wrote down my strategy today on paper again. Just really kind of reinforcing my rules in my brain. And you guys know patience plus discipline is going to give us freedom. This is my formula for success. So I'm just going to try to stare at that all day as well. First things first, I did check the daily time frame today, and I'm going to show you guys what I looked for when I was checking that time frame. Do I have some stuff on here already? Hold on. Okay, let's re-put the KT system back up there. Beautiful. And then our daily note as well. Wonderful. Are these locked in place? Wonderful. All right. So based off of the daily time frame, I noticed that we had a high yesterday and a low yesterday. And today we already started out with a lower high and coming up to a lower low. So I was already kind of looking for bearish bias. That was just giving me a little bit more confidence in it. But let's go down to the 1 hour first, because I didn't go to the 4 hour like right after the daily. I could have, obviously, but I didn't, typically because you guys know from previous videos, I just focus on the 1 hour and the 5 minute. But today I wanted to give a little bit more confirmation, just because we were moving up, but we had this really big sell off. So, all right, let's see our 1 hour time frame. We can again see price had an obvious low. I'm just going to mark out the swing points, and then I'll get to the minor structure. We had this major low, price came up. I can count this one, but this is not like the major, but it kind of is. And then price just like sold off. We have all this minor structure within when price was moving down the higher time frame. Also, we had some bearish structure. Then we had bullish structure. Okay, then we had some more bullish structure. Price came down, grabbed some liquidity a little bit, kept moving a little higher. Had a tad bit of bearish structure, then a tad bit of bullish structure. And we've just been working our way down and down and down. I'm going to change this color so you guys can see it. As we can see, price is still following momentum, but we were dropping here. Mind you, I'm already bearish on my daily. Price has been just dropping on my 1 hour. But from here, guys, I want to zoom out before I do anything else. I can obviously see that we have a break of structure right here. Hopefully you guys can see that, but I noticed this break of structure. So then I came down here and was like, okay, where did this push start from? It came from this level right here. So now I'm seeing current price is already by a 1 hour zone. It's already there. So it's either going to push through it and fail, or it's going to bounce off of it and continue in the opposite direction. I'm going to delete this really quick and then zoom out a bit so you guys can see where market even started selling off. Let's go all the way back over here. We can see price made a huge drop right here after interacting here. And what is it doing again? Huge drop off right there. So I did go ahead and mark out this level, but we can also see where price is right now. The same thing happened. Price was here, dropped super down below, kind of off in here. Prices interacted with this level so many times, guys. Super important levels. And then if I zoom back in, we have some levels of liquidity as well. I went ahead and marked those out. I'm going to make it green. Green is really my favorite color. I know it seems like pink is. I really, 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 really like pink, but green is my favorite. Then we have this liquidity here. So we have two levels that I need to see price holding. If price begins to break below these levels, okay, now we're starting to see the market wants to change the trend. So that brings me back to my path tool. We can see obvious low, obvious high, obvious low. Break of structure actually happens here. Obvious low, obvious high. And this is more clean structure. Okay, so we can see that if price comes down and breaks this low, price might want to continue lower. We might start having a bearish trend. Yes, we broke this one and that's cool. You could count that as well as a break of structure and noticing that that low is there, but we don't want to see this low break. If it does, we've obviously started moving bearish. This first break would be considered the change of character. When we're moving high and price breaks structure one time, it could either be a liquidity grab and go back in the right direction, or it can make a lower high and start continuing a new trend or creating a new trend, excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and drop on down to our 5-minute time frame. Okay, I do not start trading until 9:30 open. All right, so we'll target my entry point around when I want to start looking for trades, and then I hop off the charts around 11. So if I have no trades by then, tough cookie, bro. Tough cookie. I told y'all this month been cooking me. So I'm just going to really stand firm on my rules, but we can already see, guys. I've already determined my bias. So let me actually write that for the 1 hour, then we'll get right back to the 5-minute. My 1 hour is bearish, but approaching a 1 hour demand. Okay. And then my 5-minute, we can clearly see, guys, that this has been moving down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to read what we're looking at. We can see this is moving down. Price has not yet broken a high right here. So we can anticipate that it will continue this trend. The trend is our friend. Okay. So let's zoom back in. I can clearly see before I even get to market open that we had an actual break of structure here where the candle closed below this low. Beautiful break of structure here. If we get a break of structure, then we get a new zone. This would be that last candle before that push down to break structure. So we're going to mark that out as our supply zone here. If price can come back here, just like in my journal, if price can tap a current zone and then continue pushing down, I would be open to a sell trade. If we get a new low to break, so now we have a low right here. It kind of got swept right here, so I'm going to make the new low the current price right here. We have this low right here. If price can break strong like this, just like it did here, not a wick. I'm kind of moving away from wicks because I want to be a little bit more confident in the trade. So I'm just going to wait for a candle to close below it. If we can't get a candle to close below it, then I'm just going to keep waiting. All right, so if price can break here, just like in my journal, if price can create a new strong break of structure and give me a new supply zone, I'll look for that zone to take. Or if we bounce off of this 1 hour demand. Now, we're going to go back to the 4 hour to show you guys where the 4 hour is lying, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Okay, we can obviously see the break of structure here. The 4 hour zone is just a tad below. Okay, if you watch some of my older videos, you guys know I like my 4 hours blue, but I'm not going to leave this on here too long. I just want you guys to see where it was mentally in my brain as I was trading. So I was noticing we came full speed, guys, straight bearish candles into my zones. That's not what I want to see. I want to see price break down before coming to my zone, not just one straight shot. So let's go back down to the 5-minute and get to market open. Our 5-minute is also bearish. So let's go ahead and write that really quick. So all we need is to find a break of structure that is from recent price, current price, and then a tap of the zone once we've created a new one, and then a break of candle to enter. Simple, easy. Can I follow it? That's the goal. Okay. All right. So we got a wick. This now has become liquidity because it is not a break. It is not a strong break like this one. So we'll just keep going. We're already going to get to market open first. Market came and opened, guys. And look at this nonsense, bro. Let's go back. Look at this nonsense. We were waiting for price to break this low. We could have even just waited for price to break this high. And it did both of those things. So now what are we looking like in the market? We're looking like a chop. Can I trade supply and demand in a choppy market? No, I cannot. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. We can even notice here, price did the same exact thing. We stopped here. We came here. We stopped here. What does that look like? Choppy, 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 choppy. Can't trade supply and demand in that, guys. So I have to wait for price to either break down to the downside and give me an opportunity, or break out and up to the upside to give me an opportunity. If I do not get those things, probably not going to take a trade. So let's just breathe. Take this season and 2 weeks of not trading to really be able to analyze, understand, and read the markets. And let's keep going from there. So market just wicked again. Never gave me strong break of structure like this. Let's see if it can do that to the upside now. Nope. Reaction from here. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, there's a level right here. Okay. And though it looks like a level, guys, it's still in a choppy area. Price is reacting from there, but it's also reacting from this bottom with no clear direction. The buyers and the sellers are at war in this level. The buyers are pushing the market down. The sellers are just as strong, pushing the market up. And we need one of them to choose which one is stronger. Is that one stronger? Or are the sellers stronger? We need to see clear price action. The first thing that I need to see in order for me to take a trade is clear price action. Is the market moving higher, or is the market moving lower? We've already determined on our higher time frame what we're looking for. We're anticipating the bears to stay in control. Have the bears showed me that they can stay in control right here? No. So if it's not clear, I'm not going to take a setup. Let's keep going. Price is now starting to move. I don't know if you guys remember it, but Donald Trump tweeted right around market open, and he created a new low. So yes, even though I feel like news just be fake information on the chart sometimes, guys, even though this low broke, we have a new low. So now I have to wait for price to break structure strong, just like it did, but it looks like the sellers are trying to maintain. That's what we want to see. We're not making any newer highs. Price isn't coming above this high. Let's see if price is going to come above this high or not, or if it's going to continue to the downside. We're still within our trading window. So let's see what the market can do. I'm going to delete this 4-hour zone just because I don't really like, it's just like in the way, but I know it's there. So I know we have 2 overlapping zones. I know we're coming strong to that zone. So I'm not really anticipating a bounce off of it, but it still could happen and I don't want to ignore it. All right, let's see if we can get a break of structure to the downside. So close, guys. It's so close. Let's see if we can get it. Come on. I need to write a break of structure before break of structure before I can get into this trade or think about getting into this trade. Got that break of structure on there now. All right, let's see. All right, we got a wick. What does that turn into when it's a wick? Oh my gosh. It can be liquidity. All right, I really want to see a break. I really want to see it. But now we have a new low. So now I have to wait even longer. And that's okay. Because what is the formula for freedom? Patience, discipline, freedom. Okay. So it's just like we're going to have to just wait. Now, again, I see the zone. Yes, guys, I see it clear as day. But what do I want to see? I want to see a strong break of structure. I want to see break of structure being really strong. Really, 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 really strong. Okay. Around 9:55, 9:56, we can see that I wrote some emotions out. I felt super calm. I felt confident in sales, and the higher time frame levels were kind of failing. I was just having to practice patience. I want to see a strong break of structure. If I don't get that stronger break of structure, I'm not going to waste my time and put my money behind the market and the market just stop me out and then make me super emotional and then make me try to go on tilt. I don't want to do that. I don't want you to want to do that. So I also wrote something down that really irritated me too, which it was like 10:31 and I was like growing impatient. So I had to lock myself back into the mode of breathing and being patient. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get a strong break of structure. I don't really like the zone, so I'm going to delete it. Okay, I don't like this zone because look, even though it was just a little wick, I want to see strong movements. We just established that. I want to see a strong movement. If there is no clear price, strong movement down, then there is no trade. Okay, let's see if we can get that strong movement down. Boom, we got it. Price gave us the break of structure that we were looking for. So now that we have a break of structure, the only thing that I'm waiting to do next, number 2, is for price to come back and get me. I'm going to delete this zone too because our 1 hour is it's just not there. It's gone, guys. It's gone if it gets disrespected. So we can see price is still moving down. We've gotten our break of structure here at 10:10. Yes, at 10:10. And this is normal for a lot of our winning trades to happen around this time. So now I am looking for my number 2, which is for price to come back and get me. I need price to come back into my zone to get me to the point where the big money traders, the people who cause this movement, big industries, to come back to that price and want to take it back exactly where it just went to. This is how supply and demand works. Big money movers will move the market nice and strong. Price will come back to that level to rebalance it. And if they're willing to put their money back behind it again, which most times than not they are, sometimes they're not, they'll fail, it's okay. But in this case, we're waiting for it to hold. If it doesn't make a new high, we're anticipating it to come down and surpass the low again. So let's see, after this break of structure, we've now written out our supply zone. Let's see if we can get a tap of the zone. We're still being super patient. This is only 10:15. Remember, I was getting a little irritated around 10:30. So let's see if we can get there. Oh, but we've got the tap of zone. We didn't even say that. So yes, tap of zone happened. I love it. Happened so beautifully. 10:15, we got a tap of the zone. This means we have one more thing left. The final thing I look for in order to get into a trade is confirmation, guys. Sometimes you can look for the aggressive trade and what might happen. Price might completely cook you and then go into your direction. So something that I've incorporated is waiting for that confirmation to get into my trade. Let's see if we ever get that. That would be the break of candle to enter. I'll walk you through that as we get to that point. We're still waiting for the price. Okay, at this point, while I'm live trading, I am waiting for price to come here. If price never comes down and enters me into the trade, I'll adjust it to the next candle. Okay, this is a much bigger stop loss. I don't even want this trade at this point. It's over my 30 to 50 points of my trade. I don't even want it at this point. So I think I just deleted that one. But then we got a little bit smaller of a zone. I have it at the bottom of the candle and maybe like 2 points above the candle, which is under my 30 to 50 points. It's under 50 points. I'd be willing to put my money behind this. But if I do not get a break of the candle to the downside, if the next candle does not come below here, I'm not getting into this trade. That's it. And it didn't. So now my new zone becomes here. I'm just going to keep adjusting until price closes out of my zone. Let's see. It was around 48-ish points, but that looks pretty reasonable there. And I was looking for the 1 to 2, kind of close to that low right there. Very close to this low here. I'm going to mark out my TP2. And I'm also going to mark out my 1 to 1 because I'm going to take profits off at 1 to 1. I've already earned it. If I can get it, I'm going to just take off some contracts. Secure a bag. Small compounds over time allows you that success in trading. If you're looking for home runs every day, you're going to be looking for a long time, guys. All right, let's see if price can give us the break of candle to enter the trade. Not yet. Okay, same thing. I'm just adjusting. I kind of left it almost in the same spot, so you guys get it. If it breaks this candle right here, that'll be my entry. Now our stop loss is just a little bit less. Could have been even a little bit less. So I love that. We still have not gotten a break of candle to enter the trade, but guys, the bears are starting to come back in. We are rejecting this level. We're starting to get a little bit of consolidation. Price is stalling right here. I want to see this stall and I want to see us break strong to the downside. If we can get that strong break to the downside, I can be confident in this trade to leave it and to play out. Do we see this consolidation right here? Price is just like bouncing around in these two levels. So we're waiting for price to bounce out of that level and give us confirmation to enter. Let's see if we get that. Y'all, this is a beautiful move. This is the move we want to see. We want to see price not create a new high. This high right here is not higher than this most previous high. Well, Kai, I can't really see that. So can you write out the structure? Of course I can. We have a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low, a high. And then I'm going to clean off the candle so you can see it. These are lower highs. That's it. That's bearish price action. That's what we want to see. And then we got the entry. So we entered this trade around 1040. Perfect. Let's clean up the charts just a bit so you guys don't get too confused. This is just liquidity. Love it. We're going to delete these other liquidities. We'll keep this consolidation here. But guys, we can see we're almost at our 1 to 1. We're just going to remain confident in our trade. If the trade gets invalidated, we have our stop loss to protect us from bleeding out and losing our entire account. Let's see if we can get the 1 to 1. All right, beautiful. I'm securing profits. I am now moving my stop loss, if not right up under break even, I'm going to move it right at break even. Either one is fine with me. So let's see if we can get the 1 to 2. We're so close. I'm going to just go ahead and protect more profits. I'm going to move my stop loss to the 1 to 1. My stop loss is now a 1 to 1. Let's see if we can finally get that 1 to 2 there. Easy money. Price was trying to come get this liquidity down here, and it did, in fact, get it. All of this happened inside of my trading window, following all of my trading rules and me being patient enough to wait for it. I want to be able to identify these things in my days of not trading so that when I come back after getting whooped in August, I can identify, okay, this is a chop, I'm not going to trade it. Okay, this is a chop, I'm not going to trade it. Okay, this is a solid break. I might be interested in taking this setup, confident in my setup, gonna breathe. Guys, I was not afraid to lose on this trade. If it would have went to my stop loss, I would have been okay. If it would have went to my TP, I would have been okay. It's a beautiful day, a beautiful opportunity, and a very disciplined day. And that's all I need for myself. So I have 8 more days before I can take another trade. I'm going to start back on trading live. So if you want to flip an account with me, I don't know how much I'm going to do just yet. So stay tuned to find out more information on that. But I'm going to start a live account, and yeah, we're just going to take our trading to the next level. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoy making these videos for you guys. Leave in the comments what you guys want to see next, and I will catch you guys in the next video.